So, don't you think we have spent a lot of time and money, wealth, everything since we have started and begun this very journey to know our past? We, being human, are always curious to know about our past, and this is more accompanied with an intention to prove that we are the most dominating civilization ever existing on this planet. And therefore, we certainly see what that people from different countries invest a lot of money in excavation and in carrying out various process which could help them gather some past uh, historical understandings, and on the basis of it they could really certify their dominance with data, right? Now, none of us, to be very honest, has so far established that exactly this civilization was truly the one being dominant to all. Now, a few days back, I was reading Swami Vivekananda's Gyan Yoga, and one of the context was so intriguing that I thought, why should I not apply this intriguing formula? I would rather call it formula to basically this very question, this puzzling question, to know exactly who was more dominant, so that this race, and in the name of race the way people are spending and wasting the money, I think could be stopped to a certain extent. Now what this formula is all about, let me first clear on this and then we will process it further. Swami Vivekananda says in Gyan Yoga that this human life is no different from the life of universe, because he says that both of the things emerges right from its fine position and reaches to its gross, which means it has been there in the fine form and thereafter it develops into a gross form. So there are two positions, point A, point B, an entire thing is revolving between the two, and that's how we make a cycle. So we basically a Vedantist, those who call themselves Hindus, for example, I'm a Hindu, so we believe in this very cyclical theory. And you can understand in this civilizational aspect to solve out this puzzle, to unearth several historical aspects of human life. So when we apply this very formula, we really can certify few things and with all convictions. For example, when we try to figure out whose community or a civilization was really the one got a maximum reputation and enjoyed maximum reputations among various other civilization, then we can certainly find out this if we apply this formula. And what do we get it from it? This is what for you in this video. So every civilization is started right from point A to point B, and in terms of civilizational aspect we can say it started right from its development, or you can say it's from decaying to development. So there are two things which is basically hanging like a pendulum and forming a cycle at the end. So from decay to development, and then from development again forming decay. And that's all about this human civilization. That's all about this very concept of universalization or universe. Because once we begin and then we reach to that highest level of development, and then again we go back to this fine position. You can call it decaying or you can call it fine position. Now when we try to understand this and apply it to know the very existing question, who dominates and who is the most dominating and the one played a more hegemonic role ever, then I think things could be cleared out. And what do we get from it? Probably this, that no particular civilization can solely claim that it was the only dominating civilization. Why? Because every particular civilization is started right from its decay and reached to its sublime experience of human civilization, and again it turned out to be in a decaying form. It is in the case of our civilization, Hindu civilization. It has been in the case of Western civilization. You can take any name, you will find reading history that they started from a point A and then reached to the point B, and then at some point of time they again just reverted back to the point A. And that's what it is. So, for example, we claim to be the most superior among all races, citing our Vedas as the supreme authority that contained every aspect of human life, which was accompanied with several scientific data and researches about cosmic understanding. And to a certain extent, it is really, I mean, accurate and acceptable. But the question is it really the same thing now? Do we experience the same thing now? No. So we can say that at some point of time we were to the highest point of human civilization, then, but thereafter it began this very degeneration process, this decaying process. And now we have reached to this point where we are competing with other countries and other civilizations. Now we can say that the other civilizations are far better than us at this point of time, but at some point of time in past we were better than them. Now we are in our degeneration process and will move to again this development soon, right? And other civilizations, for example Western civilizations, may be called that they are in their peak of development, and they will start especially with the degeneration and will move to decay, and that's how the things goes on. I don't think people would accept it, people would understand it, but trust me, if you apply this formula of Gyan Yoga, that point A to point B, then I think many things could be solved out. And what is the interesting part of this formula is that it really has and holds the very kind of essence or the efficacy which could to a certain extent meet up with our expectations in terms of solving out this riddle, and could hold us back from moving further with this unnecessary investment, with this intention to know who was the best. I'm not against this excavations, I'm not against this finding out historical understandings and civilizational root and their cultural, social, and political framing. But what I'm against of is that it is done with just one intention to prove, as I told you in the beginning, as to who was really the most hegemonic. And I think for this, we need to think. So, this is what I wanted to share. I hope you would understand this very formula and trust me, apply it. I, I believe that you will have the satisfaction at the end of the day. This is what I wanted to share. Till then, take care. Bye bye.